So now that Toy Story 5 has come out and the weekend has come and passed, I wanted to go ahead and rank all Toy Story movies, including Lightyear, which is a very odd movie, and including Toy Story 5, obviously. But some people wouldn't count Lightyear in the ranking, but I'm going to because why not? Like I said in my review, this is a franchise I love, this is a franchise I really enjoy, and honest to God, I haven't had a single movie I've disliked so far, which is very impressive for a long-running animated franchise. I mean, most of these kind of get to their third or second entry sometimes, and you're like, oh, this is really bad now. But not with Toy Story. This has kept around really well and has really done a great job. So, for that being said, let's go and get into my ranking, starting off with last place, which is Lightyear. Look, I know I just said like I'm including this movie in the ranking just to honestly put it last, but I don't hate this movie. I actually rewatched it recently, which I haven't seen since theaters, and that this came out what like 2022. I actually don't hate this movie. I like most of it. Now the crew they have here, besides the granddaughter, is just bad. I mean, Taika Waititi is so unfunny in this movie. But I will say I love the little interstellar plot they have going on here. I really enjoy that so much, and I like Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear. I like all the little references to his lines from the original movies, and they're really fun. While I do feel like this movie was a kind of a massive misstep for the franchise, and it probably will hurt the brand for a while, and it's one of Pixar's biggest flops, I do really think this movie is very beautiful to look at. It's a very pretty movie, and it's also very fun in a lot of elements, especially with the interstellar stuff. But then you get to the twist with Zurg at the end, and it just doesn't really work. But I do like this movie as a whole. Next up is the original Toy Story, and don't hate me, I don't hate this movie. I really don't. I actually really love this one quite a bit. It is my least favorite of the franchise, and that is because it has a rough start with it being the very first CGI animated movie ever made. So the animation just really doesn't hold up here. But the story's still great. I mean, you got like an old toy meeting a new toy coming in, and how those two paths cross, and what kind of elements will that bring, and what kind of frustrations will it bring. It becomes this big, huge just contest between the two, and I really like that. My only issue is the other toys are so rude in this movie. They're so mean. But I love Sid. Sid is great in this. He is one of my favorite Pixar villains, honestly. And while some of the animation doesn't hold up, it's still a very heartfelt, touching story, and it's honestly just an iconic story. It has gotten to that point here, and it's crazy to see. This movie is over 30 years old now, which is insane. But yeah, no, I still really enjoy the original Toy Story. It is just my least favorite out of some of these movies. Next up is Toy Story 4, and I feel like this movie gets a lot of hate nowadays because of it undermining, or in their eyes, they see it as undermining the ending of Toy Story 3. But in my opinion, I actually really think this movie works. I really like this one quite a bit, and I love Woody's send off here. And while that does get undermined in the fifth movie, it still has a part to play, and I really enjoyed what they did here and what they were going for with this movie. And while it might be a little hard for some audience members who have grew up with Toy Story to see this ending and not see it as a big slap in the face, I see it as the series trying to mature in a lot of ways and leaving behind and trying to just move on. And it is a very good ending, in my opinion. It's very emotional too. But I also love the new characters here, like the Duck and Bunny, voiced by Key and Peele, is just so good in this movie. And I also just really, really enjoy what they did here with Buzz and Bo, especially Bo Peep. They gave her so much more to do in this movie. I don't know. I've always liked this one. It's also a very gorgeous movie. It is so well animated, especially in the opening and the very ending. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. And also the addition of Forky in this is great too. I love that character. So yeah, I like Toy Story 4. I just feel like it's way too much hate. Next up is the newest Toy Story movie, Toy Story 5. And what really makes this movie great, like I said in my review, is the plot, is the story, and how poignant and how relevant it is. And they don't just take sides and don't just be like, oh, toys are better than technology. You used to know, throw away your tablets. No, it takes the nuance to it that is really, really good. And I love what they do here with Jessie and her story, and they go back and they give her so much more to do in this movie. I love the little Buzz Lightyear plot they have going on with the defect Buzz Lightyears. And while it takes a second for that plot to really become relevant, once it does, it's fun. I just really enjoyed it, and I also just really like, while it does kind of undermine the ending of Toy Story 4, bringing back Woody here was a good idea. I really enjoyed that too. There's a lot to like about Toy Story 5, really, and it's very impressive like I said in my review, that we've gone to the fifth movie in the franchise, and it's still really good. Like it's still is going really well, and that just makes me happy. I don't know. Toy Story 5, I really enjoyed. In second place is Toy Story 3, and this might be sacrilege to some, but yeah, this movie's still great. I saw this was one of my first movies I remember like really seeing in theaters. And I loved it. Like I still love this movie, and I just rewatched it a few days ago. Lotso is definitely the best villain in the franchise, in my opinion. I love him here, and his plotline is very tragic. But what they do in this movie with daycare setting is just really brilliant, and it makes for just a really fun moment. The opening of this movie too is not as good as the second movie's opening, but it's still great, and I love how cinematic it feels in parts. But what they do here with Andy is just so poignant, and it was a great way to end this trilogy because, I mean, how we grew up with these movies as kids, and seeing that Andy, the kid we've been following throughout all these movies, has finally grown up and is going to college and is leaving his toys behind, was just a really sad moment. It has one of the saddest endings ever with the trash compactor. I think it was the trash compactor scene with they're all just going to their fate, and it's really dark, but it's also really poignant too to what the movie's trying to say. Yeah, Toy Story 3 is still amazing. It's a great movie, but it's not my favorite in the series. But my favorite is Toy Story 2 is still my favorite in the series. I adore this movie. I love it so much. I just rewatched it again a couple days ago and looked at the Toy Story 5, and it is so, so good. What really works about this movie is they progress the story of the first one, and they go for a much more mature angle here of, well, I mean, if you're not going to be beloved by your owner when you're a toy, the least you can do is bring joy to kids everywhere by being in a museum and being preserved forever for kids to enjoy for the rest of time. And it's a very adult kind of idea for this movie, but what he eventually realizes that he wants to be there for his friends, and it is great. It is one of the movies that has really stuck with me over the years. And I love how selfless Woody is in this movie too. There's parts where he is selfless, like selfish, but he just wants to help people. He wants to just help toys, and he wants to help toys find their owners. And I love bringing in Jesse and Bullseye in this movie. It is great. And the little addition of the defect Buzz gets a little frustrating, but has a great payoff with Zurg at the end of that. Yeah, this is still just such a great movie. And the scene with Jessie, with her backstory, that is the scene that makes me cry the most out of every Toy Story movie, including 3, which is the one that makes everybody cry. But yeah, that scene gets me every time. But yeah, I love Toy Story 2, always have, and it's my favorite of the series. So tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Toy Story 5, and how would you rank your all the Toy Story movies, including Lightyear? I know I didn't include Buzz Lightyear of Space Command, but I was mainly just going for the theatrical movies. And so yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed 5, and this is a series that had like one little tiny hiccup, but it's still going really strong. And it's one of my favorite animated franchise ever now. I really love this franchise so much, and when 6 eventually comes out, I'm not going to be as worried for it as I was for 5 because they've proven 5 movies in they can make great sequels. So, all that being said, what do you guys think of my ranking? And I will see you next time. Take care.